For the pledge.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. You. Madam Clerk, as to the quorum.
Yes, Mayor Pro Temp, a quorum is present for the City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority.
Thank you. We do have a proclamation on our agenda declaring April 2022 as National
Excuse me, Mayor
Donate
Pro Temp.
Life Month.
You want to give the call-in information?
Oh, sure.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Members of the public who wish to address the City Council via call-in must use the public access option noted below. Members of the public may listen and make oral public comments telephonically by dial in for open session 1-888-251-2949 or 215-861-0694. Using the specific access codes detailed below for the respective city council dates. So on April 5th, which is today, the access code is 627-1542#. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
At this point, I will go on and read the proclamation and then open it up for public comments. The proclamation reads, National Donate Life Month, April 2022. Whereas organ, eye, tissue, marrow, and blood donation are life-giving acts recognized worldwide as expressions of compassion to those in need, and whereas more than 106,000 individuals nationwide and more than 20,000 in California are currently on the National Organ Transplant waiting list, and on average, 17 people die each day while waiting. And whereas the need for donated organs is especially urgent in Hispanic, Latino, and African American communities, and whereas a single individual's donation of the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and small intestines can save up to 8 lives, and whereas donation of tissue can save and heal the lives of more than 75 others, and whereas organ donors saved more than 40,000 lives last year, the most ever, and whereas any person can register to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor regardless of age or medical conditions, and whereas being a registered donor does not impact the quality of life-saving medical care a person receives in an emergency, and now, therefore, be it resolved that the month of April 2022 is hereby proclaimed National Donate Life Month in the city of Inglewood, California, and in doing so, we encourage all Californians to check yes online or when applying for or renewing their driver's license or ID card at the DMV. Presented this 5th day of April 2022, and it's signed by the mayor and all council members. So thank you for that. I know there's no one here present to take that, so we'll secure that. And moving forward, operator, are there any public comments regarding agenda items?
No, there are no public comments at this time.
And can we go to the library lecture hall to see if there's anyone there? Is there any public comments at the library lecture hall?
Yes, Councilman, we have 2.
Thank you. Come forward, please.
Hello, council and Englewood residents. So regarding DR1, I would like to urge the city council not to adopt this resolution. In order to validly and legally approve this resolution under AB 361, The state of emergency must directly impact the ability of members to meet safely in person, or state or local officials must continue to impose or recommend social distancing. I just want to call to everybody's attention the fact that we did just host the Super Bowl at the Taste of Inglewood. Nobody social distanced there, including the members of our legislative body. You guys aren't wearing masks right now. You guys aren't socially distanced right now either. So I think that it is very clear that there isn't a health emergency in the city of Englewood. A COVID surge did not happen after the Super Bowl. A COVID surge is not happening right now. So I ask this council, why do you feel the need to deny the public access to our city council chambers? There is also not a mandate for masks or social distancing in the state of California right now. It is hypocritical, disingenuous, and unethical for the city council to adopt this resolution under the false argument of a health emergency in Englewood. So we, the community, demand that you stop hiding behind a fake public health crisis and that you open up the doors of our city council chambers once again. And also, due to the fact that this legislative body has violated the terms of AB 361 repeatedly by denying the public the opportunity to comment and refusing to allow the public to participate in and view multiple city council meetings in general, it is clear that you are not warranted in your efforts to approve this resolution. Also, in regards to agenda item Q1, for the record, this legislative body did not comply with the Fair Maps Act, as it has been said several times before. Therefore, anything that the city clerk files today regarding new boundary lines is invalid and illegal. The details of your failure to comply with the Fair Maps Act was outlined in the current correct letter that was filed with the city clerk's office on March 7th, 2022, and it was reiterated in the current correct letter that was filed in the city clerk's office on March 14th, 2022. You all have just made a conscious decision to ignore that, and your ignorance on the matter will eventually set this city back. So once again, I request that you guys do not adopt a new resolution to keep the city out of our city council and other meetings for another 30 days. And once again, anything that you guys try to file today regarding redistricting is invalid.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Miss Kelly, Kelli, Cliff, CLIFT. And as I stated last week, I need to be reminded regarding housing. Please keep me in mind regarding housing. Kelly A. Cliff versus Los Angeles City of Inglewood, and I identified Mayor Butts as a problem for the simple reason they were his constituents and
Sorry, ma'am.
employees.
What agenda item are you speaking to?
City attorney,
Which item is that?
city attorney, it would fall under PH2.
PH2 will be continued,
Oh, okay,
and it's a public hearing. You would wait until that comes up.
okay. Just to remind you, Kelly A. Cliff versus the City of Los Angeles, City of Inglewood, and I did identify Mayor Butts as being a problem with my housing.
Ma'am.
Please do not ignore
Ma'am.
my lawsuit. Thank you.
Ma'am, this is not on the agenda. Thank you. Anyone else, Emery?
No, Councilman.
Thank you. Okay, Madam City Clerk, as to the warrants and bills,
Yes, warrant register.
move allow payment.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members, successor agency members, and housing authority members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Falk.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. DR1,
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution authorizing the city council and all other legislative bodies of the city to continue to conduct public meetings via teleconference from April 5th, 2022 through May 5th, 2022 pursuant to the Assembly Bill 361.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson. Padilla.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. Madam Clerk, what is the next scheduled matter?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, the next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider an ordinance of the City of Inglewood, 1, adding Section 2-201 of Article 5 of Chapter 2, 2, adding Section 5-112.1 of Article 7 of Chapter 5, 3, adding Section 7-53 of Article 5 of Chapter 7, and 4, adding Section 7-79 of Article 7 of Chapter 7.
Has the notice of this hearing been given in the time, form, and manner as required by law, and do you have the affidavit on file?
Yes, notice has been given and an affidavit is on file.
Have any communications been received on this matter?
No communications were received.
Is there a staff report on this matter?
Yes, Ms. Angela Williams, Environmental Services Manager, will give the staff report.
Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members. My name is Angela Williams, and the special public hearing before you today is to consider changes to the Englewood Municipal Code, namely Chapters 2, 5, and 7, related to Assembly Bill 1383, which includes SB 1383 establishes statewide greenhouse gas emission reductions, as well as a new way to throw away or dispose of organic waste, namely food. And these changes to the municipal code will help the city be in compliance with Assembly Bill 1383.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. We'll receive and file that staff report. Are there any public comments? Mr. Operator? And are there any comments at the library lecture hall?
So yes, regarding PH1, so I think this is a great ordinance, and it will take the city in a positive direction. Hopefully, this will be the first of many environmentally friendly changes that will happen in our community, and we will continue to make environmental justice a priority here. However, I do not agree with charging Englewood residents to participate in these changes or fining residents for noncompliance. In order to be in compliance with this ordinance, the state requires that the initial approach for enforcement be education. With that being said, the people of Englewood would benefit greatly by having the opportunity to learn the benefits of this recycling program while also participating in it without having to pay a fee. The city can mitigate whatever sum they intended to make off of the public by the funding that the city intends to get from the state for implementing this ordinance. It is not a good idea to make residents pay $50 to $500 for non-complying with this ordinance. Considering the fact that the median income of an Englewood resident is only $27,000 a year, these fees are excessive and will only harm our community. Instead of giving fines, the city can grant waivers for the community members who do not want to participate, which the city does have the power and authority to do. This leadership has taxed our community so much and has not invested in us at all. Therefore, I believe that if this ordinance comes to fruition, the only ethical and righteous thing for our city council to do is to introduce this program as a free service to residents and refrain from penalizing community members who do not want to participate with extreme fines.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
No more comments, Council.
Thank you. The public comment portion is now closed. We'll open it for council comments.
Mayor,
Please, Councilman
just if you
Padilla.
look at the staff report, it does talk about waivers.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody would just read the staff report before going up there and talking, they would do themselves a service. But it does say on here that the city will authorize approval of the waiver in such circumstances that those conditions exist.
Mm-hmm.
Understand, folks, we are not in the business of taxing folks unnecessarily and creating all these extra bills or, fees and stuff like that. And so, when somebody gets up there and says that, they're entitled to their, whatever they want to say, but I'm not going to let them just go up there and say something that's not right. You know, we have an obligation as the, representatives here on the dais to correct folks when they give out misinformation. And that, people, is misinformation that she talked about. So if you look at the staff report, it talks about these waivers for businesses and for residences that don't have that amount of waste. So it's covered. So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Padilla. Are there any other comments?
Thank you, Councilman Morales. I just wanted to echo what Councilman Padilla said, and we always consider our residents as we implement new programs and regulations. So I want all of our residents to always think about and review the information and don't just take what somebody says as the truth. Please, review the information that's provided to you, review the facts. You can always access our council offices for any clarification, and of course, our team here at the City of Englewood, but we are always working and considering you, so I want you to always review the facts and not listen to what other people say. Find out the information for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Folk. I just want to further clarify that what we're doing here is falling in line with the state mandate. Is that correct, Ms. Williams? So this happens when a state law gets passed. Each city has to determine and adopt an ordinance that allows them to enforce it within their city. This is where we may have some ability to fit it into our city dynamic. Which is how the staff report was written, but that's exactly what we're doing. We are falling in line with the state law that we cannot supersede. And so we're just making it to the point where our staff can work with our residents to make this happen. So thank you, Ms. Williams. With that being said, the motion to waive further reading.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson. Padilla.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. And I can introduce. Okay, PH2.
Public hearing to consider the following actions associated with the Inglewood Transit Connector ITC project. 1, adoption of a resolution certifying an environmental impact report, adopting environmental findings, adopting a statement of overriding considerations, and adopting a mitigation monitoring and reporting program in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act for the Inglewood Transit Connector project. 2, adoption of a resolution adopting amendments to the land use, circulation, and safety elements of the Inglewood General Plan for the Inglewood Transit Connector project. 3, introduction of an ordinance approving of zone change ZC-2022-001 to establish a transportation corridor overlay zone. 4, introduction of an ordinance approving zoning code amendment ZCA-2022-001 to establish a transportation corridor overlay zone in Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code. And 5, adoption of a resolution adopting the Inglewood Transit Connector designs, standards, and guidelines.
Okay, thank you. This item, PH2, will be continued to April 12, 2022 at 2 p.m. And just to further clarify, Madam Clerk, when I called the warrant register, I called it by warrant register
Yes, sir.
instead of item 1, CSA 1 and H1, which was the intention. So why don't we'll go back and do it one more time so that
Okay.
all of them are covered.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to call item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Move along payment.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members, successor agency members, and housing authority members, Dotson. Padilla.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem, or Chairman / Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye, thank you very much. Consent calendar. These items will be acted upon as a whole unless called upon by a council member. This goes for items 2 through 5.
So moved.
Second, Madam Clerk.
Council members Dotson. Padilla.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. Item 01.
Staff report recommending adoption of ordinance number 22-06, adopting boundaries for the city's council districts in accordance with the Fair Maps Act following the 2020 federal census.
Motion to waive further reading.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. Move items 2 and 3.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. We'll move on to item A1.
Closed session. The first item was a closed session regarding labor negotiation. That item was pulled and not discussed. As to CS2, there was a request for settlement authority in that matter.
So moved. Second.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. A2.
And I'm sorry, Mayor, as to that particular item before, the mayor was not present for the conversation.
Correct.
And as to A2, there's no report from the city attorney's office.
Thank you. CM1.
Thank you, Mayor. There's no oral reports from the city manager's office.
Thank you. CC1.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. Just to remind our residents that today is Election Day for Assembly District 62. If you have any questions, the polls are open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. You can go there to Rogers Park or contact our office, and we can direct you as to where you can go to vote if you want to do in-person voting. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. CSA2.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on March 15, 2022.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Successor agency members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. Adjournment Inglewood Successor Agency, Open Inglewood Housing Authority. H2.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on March 15, 2022.
So moved.
Second. Madam Clerk?
Housing Authority members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Morales.
Aye. Adjourn the Inglewood Housing Authority. I have no appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. We'll open it up for public comments regarding other matters. Mr. Operator, are there any callers on the line?
At this time, there are no callers on the line.
Thank you. Can we move over to the library lecture hall?
Ms. Cliff,
You have 1 minute.
Kelly Cliff, K-E-L-L-I-C-L-I-F-T versus City of Inglewood, James Butts, Mayor. Please review my lawsuit. It's very important. And Mayor James Butts was not involved as far as information that his employees and residents had. I had to make him aware. So Mayor James Butts was not wholly responsible, but he is now. Thank you for considering my lawsuit, Kelly A. Cliff versus the City of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can tell that you guys just sit up there and you don't pay attention, because clearly you didn't hear what I said. I didn't say anything opposed to the changes that are being made regarding this ordinance. What I did say is that you guys should not charge Englewood residents to participate in this, and that you should move forward in the spirit of education, as the state bill said. And I also said that you should give waivers to people who do not want to participate. And if you would have read the documents, all of that is included in that 53-page document. Also, Eloy Morales, you are my city council representative. However, I'm extremely unsatisfied with your representation. It is impossible to get in contact with you. For some reason, you don't respond to emails. You've been sent messages and invitations to come to important town halls that were held right here in your district. And not only did you not attend, but you also failed
Thank
to
you,
even
Ms. Dixon.
respond. Mr. Morales,
Thank you. You have 1 minute at the end of the meeting. It's over now. And thank you. I did receive that. The meeting was held outside of my district, and the invitation was to an Englewood City Town Hall meeting, which you are not authorized to call. So thank you very much. That being said, we'll close public comments, Emery, unless there's another person there. close public comments? Oh, there's one more?
No more comments, Council.
Thank you. Thank you. Close public comments, council comments. Councilman Dotson?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I have no comments except to say that I wish everyone a very nice day, and make sure we're still under the COVID, so let's do what we need to do. Stay safe.
Thank you. Councilman Padilla?
Great, thank you. Look, right now it's tax season. Everybody's getting all their paperwork out. Everybody's like, oh, shoot, right? And so that being said, I do the same. Get all the paperwork that you don't need, put it in a box or a bag, and bring it to the District 2 Community Center Shredding Day. Get rid of it. You know, if you don't need it, don't hold it, right? As we say in Spanish, it becomes triquero, it becomes trash, it becomes junk, right? And if we don't dump it, we just hold on to it. So I look forward to seeing you, and that's on Saturday, April 23rd. The event's from 9 to 12. I will tell you this. If you're not in line by 11:30, you may not be able to get your stuff in the dumpster, right? Because we get backed up. I don't want somebody showing up right at noon and then they're having a heart attack because they couldn't dump their stuff. So please get there early. The early bird catches the worm. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Falk?
Thank you, Councilman Morales. So just a couple of things. I am actually going to piggyback on our Madam City Clerk on the announcement. I do want to encourage all of our Englewood residents to exercise your right to vote today. It is a special election. It's a very important election for Assembly. And I hope that everyone makes time. Maybe you might have already submitted your ballot via your absentee ballot, so that's great too. But if you have not, make sure you get out and vote. Polling places are Darby Park, Gravilla Art Park, Edward Vincent Junior Park, Crenshaw Imperial Branch Library, and Rogers Park. So in District 4, you can drop your ballot at Crenshaw Imperial Branch Library. So get out there and vote, people, vote. And lastly, I want to encourage our high school students to participate in this really great art event. This is being put on by Metro, and it's an invitation to high school students in the neighborhood to participate in an art contest. And it says, create an artwork that celebrates your community along the Crenshaw LAX Transit Project, including the area of Crenshaw District, Inglewood, Westchester, and surrounding areas. So they're going to select 8 students, 8 artists who will participate in this contest. And if you win, you will win a $500 compensation for the submitted artwork, public recognition, an award certificate, complete set of commemorative pins, and brochure with student artwork featured. So the deadline to submit your artwork is this Friday, April 8th. So I want to encourage all of our little artists here in Englewood to get your design in. You never know. You might be the person that's selected to represent your city of Englewood. So that's all I have, Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Councilwoman Falk.
Thanks.
And I just have some brief comments. I wanted to thank Lieutenant Figueroa, who is handling my area in terms of the community and community issues at large. He's gone above and beyond the last couple of weeks. We had one incident where he's been in communication with residents, even on his day off, and I appreciate that. So I just wanted to pull that out. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.